I had a friend that went to another state school, and she pledged Delta Sigma Theta. And so when she returned home to Chattanooga, she was telling me about this great sorority, Delta Sigma Theta. And of course, on MTSU's campus, there was no African American sororities or fraternities. So I came back to campus, and I started talking about this sorority, Delta Sigma Theta, and I talked to my roommate, who was Gerald Gilbert at the time, and said, Gerald, have you heard about Delta Sigma Theta sorority? And she said, yes, and then we started talking to other ladies around campus.
I have a sister who is very, very interested in the sorority, and she actually educated me on Delta Sigma Theta and the principles and what it stands for. And after learning so much about the organization, I was so excited and enthusiastic to join.
Lo and behold, we had a legacy on campus, and her name was Dorothy Smith, and she's not with us today, but Dorothy's mother was a Delta, and she was a member of the Nashville alumni chapter. So she sort of guided us and gave us some information about starting a chapter.
As the first black cheerleader at MTSU, I had a lot of exposure to some things, but I never felt like I was a part of anything great until I became a part of Iota Tau.
We had 15 ladies who was interested in pledging or starting a chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. And Dorothy's mother came to campus, and she met with us, and we started an interest group, and we called ourselves Phi Delta.
Although there were a lot of educators in my family and in my community, I didn't know a lot about Greek letter organizations. So when I got here and Joyce formed the interest group for Delta and asked if I would like to participate, and I told her sure.
When they approached me about joining the interest group, at first I said no. I don't know anything about a sorority or Delta Sigma Theta, and I said the things I've heard have been negative, so I don't think I want to be in it. But I had a good friend that was my teacher, Miss Betty Payne, Sarah Payne, that was a Delta, and she was a great inspiration to me when I was in high school. And she told me all about Delta Sigma Theta. So I changed my mind and decided to get in the interest group.
We actually made contact with the national office and the regional director, and we did everything that we needed to do to actually form a chapter. And once we did form a chapter, the regional director came up from Atlanta and made us.
What I remember about the chartering of Iota Tau chapter at Milton State University was that on that evening, we all, of course, had on our white dresses.
The first thing that I remember about Delta Sigma Theta is that You are looking at the very first one that ever crossed over on the MTSU campus. That would be me.
At our charting, of course, we had to take the Delta Achievement Test, and if you can't do it, make it without that. And so we were in the UC University Center, which we didn't have desks. We had just theater-style seating chairs.
It was the first time that I ever experienced a sorority at all. It was a little scary, too, because Tennessee State is the chapter that took us over, and it was very uncomfortable because we had heard that they were pretty tough.
Once we finished and all of us passed the test, and we were all, of course, happy and jubilant, and they let us then prepare for the ceremony, and we were extremely excited.
They encouraged us to become a part of one of the greatest sororities ever. And I remember just staring at those ladies going, oh my goodness, will I ever be able to live up to their expectation of what being a Delta would really mean? Well, as it turned out, they guided us along the way. They were 100% in our corner, and that just gave me the strength and the courage to become a part of such a wonderful organization.
And one of the wonderful sorors of Nashville alumni was Dorothy Smith, the mom to one of our charter members, Dorothy Smith Crawford, who has now passed. And she was one of the sorors who was there that night and helped cross us, was Soror Dorothy Smith from Nashville alumni. And so it was a wonderful, fun evening. And of course, we had the red punch and cookies and all celebrating afterwards. That was always a must.
It was wonderful, though, to be able to successfully make it through Delta Sigma Theta here with wonderful sisters. First time ever being in a sisterhood here at Middle Tennessee State University.
The 11 of us were already friends, but going through the process of membership intake strengthened our bond.
Some of my fondest memories are when we would have fellowship teas when we were going to try to start a line for that year. And we would have those teas during rush, the White Pan-Atlantic rush seasons. And we would just do our different little things. I remember we had one called the Love Condominium, and one theme that had something to do with Go Deltas, and the themes were airplanes. But anyway, we would get together and decorate and sing and just have a good time. And those are just really fond memories.
My fondest memory is the serenade. We used to dress up in our shirts, our jeans, our scarves tied around our necks. We were sharp. And we could step and we could sing. We would serenade in front of the UC, and we would invite other fraternities and sororities, but we were the main show.
I remember the public service, and that was the major part for me, going out and giving back, because I felt like I'd been so blessed. And to this day, I am still an active member of Delta Sigma Theta, and it's all about the public service.
For 11 people, we did some great work on this campus.
Coming into Iota Tau, you're kind of obligated to find your niche, whether that be in forums and outreach, community service. All of us are in community service, but everybody kind of has their thing. But I knew that when I got into the chapter, that a lot of my attention and the focus was going to be on stepping.
I knew stepping was something that Iota Tau did. But the level that the chapter took it was out of this world. So keeping up those high standards and meeting such high standards was a lot of pressure. But I think that the years that we stepped, we raised the bar even further.
I was first in the 80s show in 2003, and then the Smooth Criminal show in 2004. And since then, I've been creating shows with other sorors. In 2005, we did boxing. 06, we did the Mario Brothers. 07, Candy Corn. 2008, Simpsons. Then I took a little break and came back in 2012 and did the Delta Robot Show. In 2005, we were featured in the box office hit Stomp the Yard, and we performed our boxing show, which was a crowd favorite to this day. It's the most popular show that a lot of people talk about.
So we recorded. It was a great experience. We got to meet a lot of celebrities. And it was just very memorable because I think it brought us closer together, and it helped us to realize that with our hard work, with our dedication, like it could really pay off because we ended up being in a movie.
One thing that I remember from that experience was the director, he took me to the side and he told me that he had been to schools, he had been to different step shows, he had been to different HBCUs to try to find the best steppers to be put into this film. And he said that he had never seen anybody like our step team. And he thought that was just amazing to know that we were even better than some of the guys that he had seen. And when he said that, I knew that Iota Tau was a force to be reckoned with when it comes to step shows across the nation.
Being step master, there were times where I had to be at practice as early as the step team and just as late. I had to hold the step team just like I held the members in the chapters accountable for being there on time, working very hard, giving 110%, and just making sure that they were dedicated to the team and doing what it took to provide a great quality show.
We also put together a really powerful team of sorors who handle things like steps, handle props, handle costumes, and that's why we're kind of able to put on the type of production that we do. We couldn't do it just with one person. It involves all of us. It's a true bonding experience, and I think it shows to the masses that Delta is about discipline, we're about perfection, we're about tenacity, and we're about hard work, because that's what our shows kind of pertain to the audience once they see our victory at the end of every homecoming step show.
It was a difficult task, running a chapter, being on the step team, being in other organizations where I had leadership roles, and just having a personal life. It was tough, but we're Delta women, and we're strong, and we're able to do it. And I was able to do it through the help of my line sisters who offered help, the chapter advisor, Gail Boyd, and just being disciplined with myself and upholding the standards and the duties that I had to do as the president of Delta Sigma Theta.
I had to make sure that we were hitting our thrust, the programs that we were supposed to be putting on, as well as the chapter staying in compliance, because I wanted us to maintain a great reputation and stand out on campus. I also needed to make sure that since scholastic achievement is very huge for Delta, that I maintained my grades. So it was a lot of personal time management, a lot of late nights, and a lot of sleepless nights. So that's mainly what I focused on, was just basically time management.
Some of the other responsibilities of being a chapter president included going to different conferences in the summer during school, meeting with the chapter advisor on and off campus, meeting with the Greek life advisors and chairs on campus. It was more than just going to chapter meetings and hanging out with my sisters. It was a 24-hour on and off the clock duty.
Being younger and just seeing family members who were a part of Delta, and then actually being in the organization, learning more about it and what it actually is. I mean, it's this huge entity. There's a lot of influential members who influenced me that are local, as well as, on a national level. That's impacted, political education. It's just a lot of things that I enjoyed as far as it helping me to grow into the young woman that I am now. I think it helped me to mature. I also enjoyed the bond and the sisterhood that I gained from it. I have a lot of relationships that, are still holding strong today because of me joining Delta Sigma Theta.
The summer after we crossed, my vice president and I went to the regional conference in Chattanooga, and that was the first time that we met the charter members of Iota Tau. And I think my knees kind of buckled out of excitement, but it was definitely, I guess, a blessing, and I was just really elated to be able to meet them and be able to actually put a face with a name. It was just an honor to be able to meet the charter members of our chapter.
Being in my regional leadership position, I've had the grand opportunity of developing close relationships with some of our charter members like Lavinia Harrison Butler and Jody Gilbert. It's not very often where members of chapters get to have those strong bonds and interactions with their charter members, and I'm so glad that I have had the opportunity to have that. I love Soror Butler. She always makes me laugh every time we have conversations, and she is so full of knowledge, and just sitting down having a talk with her, you don't want to stop communicating because she has so much knowledge that she can grow you as a sister.
I became chapter advisor in October of 2005, and my experience as primary chapter advisor is both rewarding and challenging. It is rewarding in that I have the most unique opportunity to see young ladies grow into strong, intelligent, confident young women. On average, a collegiate soror spends about 1.5 years in a collegiate chapter. And in that time, they are able to develop their leadership skills, their communication skills, interpersonal skills, and also business skills. So once they leave the chapter, they are equipped to go out into the world and just be great women and be great Delta women.
As we all know, advisor is a good volunteer job, financially, physically, and mentally. And I laugh about some of that. But anyway, and so I was advisor from probably 1975 until 1985.
Another challenge as primary chapter advisor is the time commitment, especially with the Iota Tau chapter. They go over and beyond in all areas of the 5-point thrust, so they are always busy. But the reward is seeing how effective their programs are and how they impact the community in the MTSU campus.
An excellent story was one of the programs that we did, a part of our national initiatives. We did an HIV and AIDS awareness program where it started off as an open forum where we had people from Nashville Cares come out and speak about HIV and AIDS, when we had live testimony from people who were actually infected. We gave away contraceptives to those in attendance, and we also gave away passes where after the program we had a I'm positive, I'm negative celebration. We allowed the attendees of the program to get tested for HIV and AIDS, and after that we were able to give them passes to the celebration, and the name of the celebration was I'm positive, I'm negative. So that was a wonderful program that we started with the 32 EHD.
On campus, Iota Tau ensures that young girls know what's going on campus, where they can go for homework help and just to study.
Iota Tau makes a great impact on the MTSU community. These young women are sophisticated, they are respected greatly among their peers, they are role models for others to follow. Specifically with their freshman forum, it allows them to teach the freshmen things that they should know about campus, as far as, where to study, library hours, where they can go and eat, the bus route. So they are introduced to the campus or to the freshmen at the freshman forum. Their impact on campus is that they are always leaders in other organizations. For example, NPHC. They are always present on campus.
When I think about the women of Iota Tau chapter, I think that they are the epitome of class, grace, and elegance. And when I think about their motto, intelligence is the torch of wisdom, I think that they represent that every day in their daily lives and as well as their participation on campus.
They've also received numerous awards, including Alumni Relations Award, President's Cup, the Advisor of the Year, NPHC President of the Year. One great accomplishment is that they have maintained the highest GPA of the NPHC for the past 5 years, and also have the second highest GPA amongst all Greek organizations at MTSU.
First event that I tried was the soundtrack beat battle in 2010, which ended up being the #1 beat battle in the nation. And we've been featured in Billboard magazine, MSNBC. We've even had the mayor come out and speak on how big this event is. What the Soundtrack Beat Battle is a hip-hop competition for producers who battle each other on stage with their instrumental beats in front of a live audience and a celebrity judges panel. And whoever wins basically gets the opportunity of a lifetime. Their life changes after the beat battle. And I've just been grateful to get this vision from God to be able to put something out there like that to help people with exposure and to help people with their dreams. With being a Delta, it has always taught me that you've got to be careful what you put out. Reputation is huge, and so therefore you have to work hard at perfecting whatever you're about to show to the masses. And Delta's always been kind of big on that. You're going to wear those symbols. You have to act a certain way and be a certain way so people will take you a certain way. And so I've taken that with me into the business field. And any event that I do, any type of gig that I get hired for, I always kind of replay that in my mind that, this is the first impression for a lot of people, for me and my business, and therefore I have to do it right. I have to do it professionally. I have to be classy. I have to be sophisticated with it because, that's going to carry a long way. And so Delta has really helped me with that, just making sure that whatever I do it right. I do it in the most business-like, professional manner.
Well, for the current and future members of Iota Tau, Delta Sigma Theta, I just want you to really embrace your time on campus. Know that there are younger women, and not just women, but everyone on campus, looking to you, looking up to you, admiring you, and just kind of looking at how you carry yourself. So the impact and the lives that you impact and the way you carry yourself make a huge difference.
Being a member of the organization and the chapter president has made me grow to appreciate the sorority even more, and it has allowed me to really, really see Delta Sigma Theta as a lifetime commitment where I will continue to serve.
We are truly a sisterhood, impacting lives and transforming communities. What I would like to leave for future members of the Iota Tau chapter is just a passion to give back to the community. Being a Delta is all fun and it comes with fame and glory and prestige. But at the core of Delta Sigma Theta is the need and the passion to give back.
Remember that we were founded on Christian principles and that our mission is about public service and giving back, and to continue to do that.
Always remember whatever you do is everlasting, and remember that you will leave a legacy whatever you do.
I come from a family of many sisters, but there was nothing like the bond that we developed here because you're all alone. And it's so good to meet other people that you had things in common with and sharing a common goal.
We were there for each other, whatever was going on. It was just a sisterhood. And for some of us that did not have sisters, this was a new feeling for us, but we bonded, and it has been a lifelong experience.
I remember about our chapter is that we were all close. I remember the friendships, I remember the love, and it's still there. And I also, I want to say that we all graduated and became productive citizens.
I remember at MTSU, I loved to dance and to sing. And while I was a member of Delta Sigma Theta, the Iota Tau chapter, they decided that they would enter me into the Miss MTSU pageant, our contest. And so I said, oh my goodness, I'm not so sure I can do that. But because I love to sing and dance, I decided that I would sing a song from Isaac Hayes, The Windows of the World. And I love that song. So I sang it at during the competition, and I won Most Talented, the first African American to ever win anything at the Miss MTSU pageant. I was not Miss MTSU. I came up as a runner-up, but I really, really thought that was special for me because I, too, lacked a little confidence and thought that I would not be able to excel that far. So, being one that excelled in the Miss MTSU pageant, of course, I was on the court. So I am also the first African American to ever be on the MTSU court. It was very wonderful this year to see that we have another soror that actually was in the parade this morning, and I was there to see her, thanks to my other soror, Tanya Byrne. But anyway, we really look at all of these years, almost 40 years, and to see that Delta Sigma Theta is still doing great things. It warms our hearts, and there's just sincere respect and love for everything that we started and seeing that it's carrying on. I am very, very proud to be a Delta and very proud of the sorors at MTSU.
I'd like to say to the ladies of Iota Tau, ladies, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a magnificent job. You're representing Delta Sigma Theta in such a fine and magnificent way.
For the sorors now that are members of Iota Tau, I am so proud of them. I reflect back on the legacy that was left to us by our 22 founders of the sorority, and the 11 of us as charter members of Iota Tau have left a legacy as well, and the sorors that have followed behind us have made us so proud because they are really working with the fundamental principles of our sorority, and to them I say congratulations.
What I want to leave to the sorors that are here now and those to come, just to remember to love God, to be true to yourself, be true to your family and your friends, and continue to make us proud.